Circle Rants.
Mark out with us! Hey guys, welcome once again to the Squared Circle Rants podcast, and I am, once again, I don't know why I'm doing that, Mr. Awesome RC Gade. Welcome. Hopefully have a entertaining show for you today. I try each and every time I do these shows. Today, of course, we're going to start with predictions. And that, of course, is for what's coming up this Saturday. What's happening? Something, the Royal with cheese? No, not that. The Royal Rumble, of course, and myself will be going live on Facebook Live, watching just the Rumble matches, as I've mentioned before, because, like I said, I can't sit in one spot forever or for long periods of time. Also need smokes, bathroom breaks, all that fun stuff. But also because while we're getting the Women's Royal Rumble match and the Men's Royal Rumble match, which that's what I'll be live for, we're also getting 4 matches. So this could be a long event. I can, at least one of these matches, I can see WWE shortening them very much, like they freaking did, or always do with women. So I'm just going to say it. The women's match, which is the only women's match, they're probably going to shorten the hell out of it. But before I get ahead of myself, let's look at these 4 other matches. I'm not going to make predictions for the Women's Royal Rumble or the Men's Royal Rumble. I want to say, because part of me doesn't care, because they're going to do what they want to do anyway. The other part, it's just hard to guess. Like, it's there's a lot of people I would want to win the Rumble and go on to WrestleMania, get that moment, get the title, but there's just too many options for that. So let's just go with the 4 matches that are set up, and we're going to start with Edge and Beth Phoenix versus Miz and Maurice. Of course, Miz and Mrs. If you watch that show, my mother freaking loves it. I like the Miz. I've said it before, but I'm not into reality. Well, those types of reality shows. Reality shows get you. They'll find a way to get you in. But yes, this I'm excited for. Not only because it's Edge and Beth Phoenix in the ring. Maurice, nice gal. I never really saw her wrestle all that often, so I can't really gauge what type of wrestler she is. But her and Miz seem like a good pairing, and this has actually been a good setup. I'll give it that. Well, except for what happened recently here on Raw. That was just dumb. Like, I think they should have just had a little more back and forth, but not so extravagant. I get Edge and Beth wanted their payback, but they could have just waited till the pay-per-view to get that paid back. Instead, we got this huge, what was it, Maurice's birthday or something, and I was like, okay, they're doing too much for this, but this should be fun and exciting. Can't wait to see Beth back in the ring. She's a really good wrestler. Edge and Miz can steal the show, like they've already proven. Maurice will be a good addition to it. But I gotta go with Edge and Beth Phoenix. Of course I do. Unless they're gonna do a, Miz and Maurice win this one, so then we get one more Miz and Edge. I can see that happening as well, but for prediction purposes, is that how you say that? Prediction purposes. Yes. I'm going to go with Edge and his wife. Of course I am. So let's move on. Now, this is the one I said might go short. and it's the only women's match on the card, or on the whole night, whatever you want to call it. Becky Lynch versus, oh, I don't want to say it. I'm just gonna say Piper Niven. I hate that freaking name. She's doing her best with it. She's doing her best, but oh god, I hate the name. Anywho, this should actually this should actually be a good match. We know Becky Lynch can go. I've seen Piper Niven have awesome matches, especially what was the last one? Well, the last really great one I saw with her, I want to say 2-3 years ago. Back when NXT was NXT, they were doing a tour. They had Rhea Ripley versus Piper Niven. And man, what a match. That's what we should be getting more of. But let's go back to this match. I believe Piper Niven can show her stuff. Of course, we know Becky Lynch is mostly on. I was going to say always, but you don't want to always say always. But I do believe, since, we have 2 Rumbles, this is going to be one of 4 matches. I have a sad feeling. I don't want it to happen. I have a sad feeling they're going to cut this one short. Like, oh man, I should have saved it on my phone. Through Raw, I actually timed matches, and I deleted it thinking, oh, I won't need it. Well, I could have freaking used it. Shows how smart I am. But I think, was it the first women's match of the night only went like 3 minutes? 3 minutes, 45 seconds. The other one a little bit longer, and that was it. So I'm hoping for the best. I'm really hoping for a good women's title match. I just have my doubts. But this one's... Actually, no, it's not that tough. We know Becky's going to have it. So poor Niven. But then again, we haven't seen her in the title picture enough. Not that I want, the repeat matches, because I'm not a huge fan of those. But we just haven't seen her in the running for it enough. Or this new character go for it enough. So I'm going to have to go with Lynch on that one. Again, though, should be a great match. This should just be a really, really brutal match. Well, actually, no, wait. Sorry to the women. So sorry. I assumed that one was going to go short, but I forgot. we have Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley, where Bobby can go. He has, what do you call that? Oh man, I forgot words. Anywho, he can go 10, 15, 20, 30-minute matches and just keep going. Lesnar, not so much. I was very impressed, and I've said it before, him and Goldberg at Crown Jewel, they actually had a good, solid match after so long. But this is Royal Rumble. They're definitely going to want to set up Lesnar. I mean, they're still setting up Lesnar versus Reigns. They're probably going to want him to keep the title. To have title versus title. So, unfortunately, I see Lesnar, retaining, which I'm not going to be a fan of. So, see, another reason I don't want to go to Facebook Live with that, because I'm just going to be pissed when I see it. You might see a little bit of my reactions on Instagram from that, but who knows? I'll probably have some beer, so that might calm me down a little bit. But no, it should be a good match. 2 big guys, hard hitters. I'd really want, between the 2, I'd want Lashley to have the title again, because he's a good champion. And he stays with the company. Just saying. But no, they're definitely going to give it to Lesnar. And last but not least, a match that, again, was kind of just shoved together. as WWE tends to do. And of course, they just want, something on the side before we get to Lesnar Reigns. Again, should be a good match. Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns for the Universal title. Oh, yeah. And, well, you saw the picture. The other match was for the other title. Anywho. But no, the guys should pull out a good match, but we all know who's going to win. And I'm more okay with that because Reigns has really proved himself as a good, actually, I'll even say it, a great heel champion. And I don't see that going away anytime soon, or I kind of don't want it to. Like, I respect Seth. I'm not a huge fan of this new character, even though it does have its moments. I'll admit that. He does have funny moments, especially with Kevin Owens. But I don't see him winning this one. Because, again, we want... Wow, that's the word of the day, folks. Again. WWE want Reigns, Lesnar, WrestleMania, title. And, of course, we'll get into predictions for that way down the road. Because that's, 4 months? Oh, wait, no, 3 months. But still, quite a time away. But, yeah, I see Reigns winning that one. Retaining the title, being the strong champion. I just wish they would give him more people. And more, and make it believable. Because that's what I don't like, is when, here's your next challenger, and it's just out of nowhere. It's just like it was randomly picked. And of course, there's so many other people they could use to be in the title picture. But that's it's a rant for another day, or a rant I've said over and over. But yes, so those are my predictions for the Royal Rumbles, or Rumble matches. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you agree, disagree with me? Am I just an idiot? It's probably the latter. Yep, just an idiot. Well, anywho, actually, before we go on to the headlines, because there's quite a bit I wanted to get into, but before we do, just want to say, please head over to Facebook, or the Squared Circle Rants Facebook page. Become a member. Share with us your memes, your opinions, your rants. We'd love to hear it, and especially join me for the Royal Rumble Facebook Live. It'll just be me for the Rumble matches, having a few beers. And it should be fun. Let me know what your thoughts are as you're watching it. Tell me what you're drinking, how your night's going. Get excited with me, because we know we're going to have surprise entrants. We're going to have botches galore. Probably awesome eliminations. But I'm stuck on surprise, even though they've ruined the big ones. But I can't wait. So yeah, join me this Saturday. Hang out in the group. I'm assuming they'll probably do the women's first, as they usually do. So I'll go live a little before it starts. I'll gauge the best I can. I may go live as it's just beginning, but we'll get it done. I'll figure it out. This is my first time going live for the Rumble, going through the Rumble, whatever that song was. I was trying something. I'm sorry. But yes, join us there. Join the group, and let's have a good time. Speaking of the group, or the page, I'm in there right now looking at headlines. And actually, this isn't really a headline. This was just a good point made on Twitter, shared by it's one of those, they take a photo of it and share the tweet, whatever. Anywho, Doug shared it himself, Debonair Douglas, or as I should say. But the original tweet was from a Milk Dud Pappy or Poppy. or at Sir Wilkins, said when Rollins dropped that line, this was on referring to SmackDown, that the Usos were elevating Roman. This was Jay's face. You can go to the group, but if you watched it, you know what he's talking about. Man, this dude is a storyteller, and Pro Wrestling Finesse agreed with him. Jey Uso proved that he could hang in the main event scene during his feud with Roman Reigns. His character work was compelling. I was fully invested in his singles run, and I can't disagree. Jay really did prove himself to be a main eventer. Jimmy, I won't go into that this time. Well, no, and I felt bad for Jimmy. He was on the sidelines with an injury, and you feel bad for any wrestler that has to sit on the shelf for so long. But recent actions, I'm kind of done with Jimmy. But moving right along, actually we'll stay in Twitter here. This was also shared from Debonair Douglas. Apparently a fan doesn't show what he originally said, but I'm assuming tagged WWE from what it looks like, but he did do the hashtag Free Ali, which is a trending hashtag right now. And all because Mustafa, as you're well aware, Mustafa Ali wants his release, and he's not been given it. So the hashtag Free Ali was made, and I'm with it. I even afterwards used the hashtag myself, but apparently this fan, when he used that hashtag, was blocked by at WWE on Fox, and he shared that with Mustafa Ali, who in turn went, "Oh, word? Don't worry, I got you," and he blocked the company he works for. So interesting to see how that'll play out, or it'll just get brushed under the rug. But that's just another stupid move from WWE. You know, oh, he's with this wrestler. Well, yeah. Isn't that what you want anyway? Don't you want the fan base? And I'm with him. If he doesn't want to be there, let him go. All right, now let's get into actual headlines here. I won't bore you with that one. Files new trademark for Alexa Bliss, and I love Bliss. Not too invested in the psychiatry sessions, but let's go to just out there headline, and I gotta go watch the match. I believe, what's his name? One of our members, Luke Camella, sent me a link. Thanks, buddy, for that. A link to watch the whole match. But yes, they had the match of Matt Cardona versus Joey Janela at GCW, Game Changer Wrestling event, and this just like it crazy from the headline, and then it gets crazier reading it. So headline, this is from WrestleZone. Matt Cardona beats Joey Janela, spoiler alert, in wild bout, gets attacked by Sean Waltman. Now, I said spoiler alert, and yeah, I'm not a fan of spoilers myself, so when you read stuff, but then again, I haven't really watched GCW. I've heard a lot about him. I know Cardona's been going there. But just that headline alone, I went, okay, you got my attention. That's very interesting. And it says, in a wild match between the two foes, Cardona emerged victorious. The war featured several surprising run-ins, including Swoggle, or Hornswoggle for WWE fans, Virgil, who wore a Vince McMahon mask and entered to Vince McMahon's music. I'm like, what the? Marco Stunt, and Brian Myers. Also, before the match even started, Cardona entered to ECW legend the Sandman's classic theme, Enter Sandman, and wore a red flannel vest as a clear shot at Mick Foley that says, "Fuck Mick Foley." And that was written on the back. Now that just sounded so freaking wild. I won't read the rest. But yeah, I urge you to go watch it. I haven't watched it yet. I've been a little busy, but thank you to Luke Camella for sending me that in the messenger. I'll definitely have to go watch that probably after I get wrapped up here or at some point. I mean, it's one of those, okay, here's spoilers, and you're like, oh, I read about it, I don't need to see it. I need to see that. That's just so freaking out. That seems like a match that you'd, again, want a couple beers with and just go, what the heck is going on? But yes, apparently towards the end, Sean Waltman, who, God, I want to say a month ago or maybe earlier than that, said he was going to get back in the ring, and I'm happy for him. I want to see more of him. I think he's got some more, what do they say, more mileage. Well, next up, this comes from Perched on the Top Rope. Really like these guys. Fightful reported that the Inspiration, Cassie Lee and Jessica McKay, formerly known as the Iconics, Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, were contacted by WWE to return for the Rumble. Oh no, another possible spoiler. But nope, Impact Wrestling Knockout Tag Team Champions declined the offer. Gee, I wonder why. I'm still shocked that Mickey's going. But we already talked about why she would. But yeah, I can understand. I mean, they were booked poorly in the main roster, split up, which actually, no, that was, I think, Cassie Lee's idea to go with that. But then she, again, wasn't booked properly. Either was Jessica McKay. So yeah, it's like, no, we're good. We don't want to. That's kind of shades of Malachi Black getting another offer to come back, and he's like, no. I mean, what were you expecting? This next one, headline, and this comes from Cultaholic, New Japan Pro Wrestling's Kazuchika Okada. That's probably the worst pronunciation of his name, and the first time I've ever flubbed it. Okay, not the first time. Well, the title says wants to face Triple H, but essentially, he's just saying we can't possibly say it at the moment, and everything is so up in the air, and sometimes putting these situations out, they might just end up as dream matches, and everybody's got a limited numbers of days left. But it's because we're in the situation that we're in these dream matches become more important to all of us as fans, to give something to imagine and speculate and look forward to. So who knows? It might be Bryan Danielson, it might be CM Punk, it might be Triple H, or it might be Shinsuke Nakamura. It might be all of these different situations. Now we're in the situation we're in as a planet. Probably some whoever wrote oh, come on, what's the word? I'm looking for a word here, guys. Something's lost in translation. There we go. But essentially, yeah, he's saying, the times we're in, not only is everything so up in the air, uncertain, and then certain people, have expirations to their careers, so it's a good time. And I think that's what he was trying. It's a good time to, stir rumor, stir the pot, and definitely this adds to the weird speculations of the Forbidden Door, especially now that WWE somewhat opened it. And I think he's just playing off that. And it would be nice. I wouldn't mind seeing, well, no, I mean, if Triple H could do it, I wouldn't mind seeing that match. Definitely wouldn't mind seeing him and Danielson. Yeah, I like what he's just trying to get ears perked, like, oh, what? And that's what that title. I originally I wanted to say it was clickbait, but no, they were just taking. He wants Triple H, what? So that that gets you. But no, it wasn't clickbait. Sorry, I even thought that. Cultaholics, I love you guys. Next up in these headlines, Ronda Rousey's WWE return believed to be imminent. And my instant response when I shared it, no thank you. But no, let's go through this. This is from Web is Jericho. That name sounds familiar. Da 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 da. See, stated that Ronda was set to return to the company at a certain period of time. Now it has been reported by Fightful Select that WWE wants the former UFC fighter to return for the Royal Rumble, with it considered a poorly kept secret within the company. I just don't care. When she first came in, awesome. I even gave a little leeway of how fast they were putting her in the title picture because of the way they did. I mean, they somewhat did a good story behind it, where I believe it was Nia Jax brought it up, or the character did, like, hey, you want to do this? Okay. So, I mean, they kind of, shoehorned it in. It was quick, but I kind of liked how they set it up. But then she had the title forever. No one could beat her. I mean, yeah, I heard she was doing great in training, but I believe that, I'm sure it wasn't the start. But where we are now in WWE, of people just getting these fast-tracked bookings, this was one of the major ones. And then, of course, the moment she loses the belt, takes time off, she completely blasts professional wrestling fans. And you can say, well, she's just, I can't even think of my words. You're just a mark, man. She's just being a heel. I'm like, no, she's being bitter. Like, there's a difference between being a bitter bitch and then trying to be a heel. She's just being a bitter bitch. I don't care for her to be back. To me, it's just another waste of money. And if she's in the Rumble, then we all know who's going to freaking win the Women's Royal Rumble. They're going to just fast track her. Don't really care. Well, I care enough, but you know what I mean. No thanks. Go to AEW. They'll do something with you. I'm sure they will. Oh wait, then they'll probably have her beat Britt Baker. Don't go anywhere. Just go somewhere else. We don't need you. All right. Well, enough of that. Next up, this is from Cultaholic. Another thing from Cultaholic. Another wrestler does want his release, and that is Brian Kendrick. And I haven't seen a response to this yet publicly like we did Mustafa Ali, but yeah, now it's sad. Well, you're not using me. I'm out of here. And Kendrick did retire, so he was kind of in the same boat, or semi-retired. He was kind of in the same boat as Scotty 2 Hotty, just working behind the scenes, helping out. So even when the people behind the scenes don't want to be there anymore, that should tell you something. I mean, it should. But yeah, again, if he not happy, wants his release, give it to him. And I know there's a lot of people not happy, except for Segway. The report, Cultaholic got a report that WWE is very high on Shawn Michaels. My first response to this was, no shit. I mean, this is Shawn Michaels. Granted, people can be fired at any given time, but I highly doubt that Shawn Michaels would ever be let go unless he was just like, you know what, I'm out of here. I won't go through the whole article. You get the picture. WWE is happy with him. I was surprised to find out, though, that what his title in the company is. Let me find it real quick. Oh, yeah, this is a report from Meltzer. Good old Dave. Oh, why can't I find it? But anyway, he's got a high thing, like he's a high executive. But no, that was just one of those stories you're like, well, I hope so. Or, yeah, duh. Why would WWE ever not want Triple H? But then again, in the article, or from Dave's perspective, I can see how there could be the potential that he's out the door since, like they say, they got rid of Road Dogg. Oh, I can't think of other names. But essentially, they got rid of Triple H's people. So, like, what about Shawn? I'm like, no matter what, Shawn is safe unless he does something, or unless he does something stupid, or he decides to leave. They're going to be happy with him no matter what, because he's made them a ton of money. Oh God, this is a stupid one, but I gotta rant about it. This is from Goldaholic as well. Scooter race set for WWE Raw, and that will be next week. So Riddle, and I'm sure those who have been paying attention, or those who haven't, Riddle and Randy Orton are still in a feud with Alpha Academy. Glad the Alpha Academy got their titles. They deserve something, but they're doing a academic try. You know what I mean? You know what they're doing. So I fast forwarded through this. It was the second thing on Raw. I just went right through, did not care. That of the first one being Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley having a freaking weigh-in. Are you serious? What the hell? And this was even dumber. They did a spelling bee, which I fast forwarded right through and had to stop because there was a match right after. The match was decent. Why couldn't we just do that? But they said the next challenge in a academic competition is going to be racing scooters. Now, I didn't do too well in middle school, and I went to an alternative high school, but I don't remember riding scooters being an academic thing. Granted, I'm just going to fast forward through that crap anyway, but if you're going to do this stupid storyline, get it right. You know, at least know what you're freaking doing. But I shouldn't complain, right? This was an interesting one. Rene Dupree claims that Bully Ray purposely hurt guys in the WWE. Now, I say this is interesting because Bully is not far from controversy. There's many different stories. The most recent one being that he felt with Moxley's return promo to the fans that he should have apologized to the fans, which is stupid. Why? I mean, that's up to the person. He had a problem. He dealt with it. He's back looking freaking awesome. Still same attitude. But no, he has nothing to apologize for. Any true fan of his will just feel like, well, we're glad he's better. And we are. But no, this is a different controversy. The French Phenom. I even made a joke. I hope he sees it. Rene Dupree, the French Phenom. Huh? Okay. Claims the Hall of Famer took liberties with talent. Former WWE Tag Team Champion Rene Dupree has spoken out about his treatment at the hands of Bubba Ray Dudley, Bully Ray, yada yada yada, when he started with the company in 2003. But no, he was sitting down with Unscripted and said, I know for a fact he purposely hurt some guys. Our first dark match, it was me and Lance Cade, and I guess the Dudley Boys. It was beneath Bubba to work a dark match. Like, no, you big goof. Those are his words. Don't hurt me, bully. They want to see how we look together and possibly bring us up and start a feud, moron. Again, his words. Just remember that. But anyway, I bend over for a backdrop and he swift kicked me as hard as he can in the head and gives me a concussion. Oof. Now, of course, this is his words against, well, you know that old saying, whatever. But apparently, even Cultaholic brought up, London claimed during an interview many years back that Bubba told him prior to a match that it would be the worst day of his life, before proceeding to viciously whip him with a belt when they were in the ring. So yeah, this isn't just one report. This has apparently happened many, many times. Or not many times, at least two. I can believe it. I mean, Bubba, or Bully Bubba, whatever you want to call him, being stiff. Yeah, I can believe it. I mean, sometimes you understand. I mean, well, no, it's never good just to beat the crap out of someone, even if they haven't coming. But no, I can kind of see it. Like, there was that situation, looking up at it right now. Ring of Honor, state of the art, when they came to Portland, Oregon. And Bubba had some words with a fan. Now, it ended good. Could have ended worse, but he did get a lot of criticism for that. What else we got here? Oh yeah, Moxley looking good. A really good side-by-side. Check that out on the page. But I guess we'll end it on this note. A big announcement from Ring of Honor. And this is reported from Perched on the Top Rope. Ring of Honor announces establishment of a Ring of Honor Hall of Fame. To coincide with Ring of Honor's 20th anniversary, the company is proud to announce the establishment of the Ring of Honor Hall of Fame. Since its inception, Ring of Honor has created excellence in professional wrestling by giving the best wrestlers on the planet a platform to showcase their talent. Now, Ring of Honor will honor. Of course, they spelled it out ROH. Sorry. I'll continue. Ring of Honor will honor the outstanding athletes who have contributed greatly to making it one of the most influential pro wrestling promotions in the industry. The first inductee in the inaugural Ring of Honor Hall of Fame class will be revealed this Monday. Subsequent inductees will be announced on February 7th, 14th, and the 21st. Also, each episode of Ring of Honor Wrestling in February will be devoted to a Hall of Fame inductee, and there will be weekly YouTube specials on the inductee. And that's a really cool announcement. I, of course, didn't follow Ring of Honor since day one. I was in and out of it, but that's cool. A lot of people are deserving of the Ring of Honor Hall of Fame, and this is something to, I guess, lack of better words, I guess, appetize us until Ring of Honor makes their return in April. So that's cool. You know, it's not completely dead. It's not gone. I can't wait to see the new product. And now I think I'll be looking up these on YouTube, maybe sharing them on a certain page. But yeah, that's it for me, folks. Hope you enjoyed this edition of the Squared Circle Rants podcast. Like I said earlier, please join us on Facebook. You can follow Squared Circle Rants also on Instagram. And of course, here on YouTube, please like, share, subscribe, mark out. But no, I'd really love to hear from you. And yeah, thanks for stopping by. As always, Mr. Awesome RC Gade, and thank you for marking out with us. Squared Circle Rants. Mark out with us!